Hello everybody and welcome back, and the party are here in the Hutakan settlement of Baizata. They're receiving the hospitality of the main priestess and they're going to spend the night sleeping here, which means by the time they wake up all healing spells will have been cast and today's spells will have been memorized. Just quickly, they are the standard ones. The party have heard both sides of the stories of the Traldar and the Hutakans regarding their relationship to each other. In fact, let's be honest, it's a conflict. They ambush each other and kill each other when they see them in the valley. This has to stop. Neither side seems to be telling the complete truth, though we have come to the conclusion that the Hutakans treat the Traldar with snobbish disdain and indeed claim that they were the ones who taught the Hutakans everything they know, but it also is apparent that the Traldar are the ones that do all the hard work around the place. So were they slaves? Probably not. Were they treated with dignity? Probably not. Were they recompensed for their hard work with the gifts of knowledge from the Hutakans? Probably. But neither side seems to think that was a fair bargain. They each seem to have a problem with it. Regardless of all of this, one thing that unites both tribes is the undead which stalk this valley. Baizata is here. Ronkan, the Traldar settlement, is here. There is a temple of Flower, who I wrongly described as she. Flower is male. And this is the source of everyone's troubles. The Traldar thought it was the Hutakans controlling the undead. The Hutakans have assured us that it is not them, though we've been told with some sort of high-minded arrogance that they could if they wanted to. How do we stop the undead coming out of the Temple of Flower? Well, the High Priestess of the Hutakans has told us of an ancient place called the Vault of the Elders, which is older than, well, it's so old, very few people have seen it. To get to it, you have to walk past the temple, and that seems to be too dangerous. But in this vault is a book, and in this book is the description of a ritual. And where the ritual is performed, nobody knows yet, but by all accounts, this ritual will put the undead to rest for good. So we need to go to the Vault of the Elders. We are going to have some Hutakan escorts with us. This means we sort of have to circumvent the Traldar settlement, as the Traldar have thought we were going to Baizata to, well, what did they think? We were just going to slaughter all the Hutakans? Ask them for money, demand recompense for this apparent slavery past? Who can tell? But that is clearly not what we have done. So when the Traldar see us walking around the valley with Hutakan escorts, from their point of view, the Traldar will think we have double-crossed them. So we've sat up for a good part of the night talking through all of these different possibilities, all these different strategies, what's going to happen, who we believe, who we don't believe. And it's getting quite late, so eventually when we've discussed what we're going to do tomorrow, we turn in for bed and wish each other good luck. And so we will get up tomorrow morning and follow this trail westward past several ruins, past several of these broken ornate fountains and other shrines, and we will eventually make it to the Vault of the Elders. So the party set off the next morning with 2 escorts. They wind their way through the silent valley, which is part rocky, part fertile. And of course, there are very few sounds to disturb it. Sometimes they hear the cry of a strange bird, but mostly it's the usual sounds of crumbling rocks and tumbling boulders. They pass by several ancient Traldar monuments, and eventually they're faced with this Vault of the Elders. It looks very much like another of these monuments, but it's much grander and much larger. There is a door which we can push open. The door is broken. It takes a bit of a force to get it through, and there's lots of debris and stones and rocks around the doorway and 2 broken stone pillars. And indeed, this is what the Vault of the Elders looks like. There are some long steps that go downward. Time to light the lantern. Malin hasn't done this in ages. He's feeling good about himself. Right, we're going to prep some spells before we go in. We might as well, since this is the kind of place where you expect trouble. Malin is going to cast Shield. Donard is going to cast Bless. I must remember that. He will also cast Strike on Carrick. And then lastly, the good old Haste. Now, the Hutakans have never seen such a display of arcane magic, but they're more than impressed. Right, that's to remind me we have a Bless spell upon us. So that is +1 to hit and damage. Carrick has Strike, which is another +6. And we all have Haste, which means we can do double attacks. Let's just go in here and get this stuff. So the party move down in formation, disturbing the stairs as they go. This tile here is Stephen, by the way. And we get to the bottom, and there, sitting on chairs, is 10 dead corpses. It's a mixture of Traldar and the Hutakans, and there are 2 more Hutakans coming down the stairs behind us. And as soon as we get into the room, these zombies immediately stand up. The Hutakans who are with us run, so we don't have anything going for us. Malin is left holding the lantern. Okay, so let the fight begin. What other spells do we have? Well, Sylvia's spells, apart from Magic Missile, are quite utilitarian. She could probably cast Light, which would save Malin holding the lantern. Malin has also got a Magic Missile and a web. This place is too confined for a web. That would ensnare Carrick and Donard and Stephen. Okay, zombies always lose initiative, so let's just go for it. Just lay the beats on these things. We'll start with missiles, and Liz and Sylvia are going to try and find line of sight to shoot 2 of these zombies. Each get 2 attacks, and they have Bless on them. These creatures only have an AC of 8. This should be easy. Okay, that's Liz, and when you add short range plus the Bless onto that, that's a 7. Her missile Thaco is 14. She hits, and that one hits, and she does 7 plus 4 is 11, plus 2 is 13. And much to everyone's surprise, that zombie is still standing. Sylvia is on a zombie. And she misses. Okay. Malin's going to try and throw a couple of daggers. Why not? He has dagger skill, so his dice goes from 1d4 to 1d6. And, well, his missile, that goes 17, plus the Bless, so that one hits. Both of those hit, and he does 7 plus 2 damage is 9. So the zombie that he attacked is down to 7 HP. We've got the boys coming in here. Okay, let's do Donard. He's just going to take on this one. And yep, he hits with that dice, misses with this dice, so he does 9 plus 1 is 10 damage. Stephen's gonna weigh in. Stephen's missile, Thaco is 15, so he hits AC 8 with both dices, and he does 12 plus 2 damage for the Blaze. He does 14. That zombie is still standing. And then we've got Carrick, who has a mountain of dice. Right, he might be able to kill 2 zombies at once. Right, let's sort this out. That 12 is a hit, and he damages, well, his total damage is 17 plus 5 is 23. So yep, he's killed 1 zombie, spins around, hits another zombie, 4, 6 plus 5 is 11. That zombie is down to 5. Right, it's their go. Okay, we're going to have 4 zombies on Carrick. We're going to have 3 on Donard and 2 on Stephen. Okay, so let's roll for the 4 on Carrick. I'll do 2 at the same time. Thaco is 19. They're going to need a natural 20 to hit him. And they don't get that. It's the same for all our party. Those 2 miss Stephen. Those miss Donard. third one on Donard. Also misses. So that is round number 1. Round number 2, we get initiative again. Right, so Liz is going to move forward a bit and try and get line of sight on a zombie. She's going to try and attack the one that she attacked before. She might kill it and try and attack another one. And she misses with this dice, but hits and kills the zombie with that dice. That's one of the ones on Donard. Sylvia's going to help out Carrick. Well, she hits. She hits both times, but oh boy, she doesn't do great damage. 2 plus 4 is 6, plus 2 is 8. Okay, well the bonuses add up, and she kills one of the damaged zombies that's on Carrick. Right, let's do Donard. One of the zombies on him is 6 HP. He might kill one and then go for the other. He does hit both times, and he kills the zombie with that attack. Turns around and smashes the head of the other one and does 10 damage. It's down to 6 HP. Then we have Stephen, who, that's a 7. Yes, he hits with both. He kills one of the zombies that's on him with this dice, and he targets a new one with that dice and takes it to 7 HP. And then we have Carrick. Right, who misses with the orange and who does 11 plus 4 is 15, plus the 2 for the bless is 17, and that is enough to just kill another zombie. So it is their go. There's 2 on Carrick, and then there are 1 each on Donard and Stephen. The 2 on Carrick miss. I'll roll for the ones on Donard and Stephen. Orange dice will be Donard. And he gets hit, so he's down to 37. And that is the end of round number 2. Round number 3. Much the same, we're going to do missiles. We're going to do Liz attacking a zombie on Donard. That's a 6. Both of these hit, and she does 5 plus 4 is 9, plus 2 is 11. She kills the zombie that's on Donard. Sylvia is going to try and attack one of the ones on Carrick. Malin could have thrown another dagger. Forgot about that. And she hits with both dice. She does 3 plus 4 is 7, plus the 2 for the bless is 9. That's enough to kill another one. That's the one that Malin damaged. So it's our go. I've got 2 zombies left. Let's do Donard, who hits and kills one outright. And we have got Carrick, and this zombie is at full health, which was 16 HP. Let's get the right dice. Okay, he misses with the green dice despite an amazing hit. He does 9 plus 4 is 13. Plus 2 for the bless is 15. There's 1 zombie left with 1 HP. Donard is going to move over to it, but we'll give this zombie an attack on Carrick. And it misses. Final round, everybody's on this zombie. It's a bit too tight to shoot. We'll just do Donard. Yep, it's got 1 HP left. It is dead. Right, so the party are going to regroup. They search the room and find only trash and rubble and some stones which have fallen from the ceiling as this place is slowly falling apart. They look up and they find quite a high ceiling but the roots of bushes and trees and grasses are poking through, so the ceiling looks quite hairy and earthy, despite the fact it's made of rock. There are more steps going downward. There's a door at the other end. The door is locked. Liz is going to try and step forward with a open locks of 45. She throws a 71. Sylvia is going to use her knock spell. And just as an aside, if you don't have a knock spell, the Hutakan priestess will give you a rod with the knock spell on it. So the door swings open, and there's an ancient throne there. Nobody sits on the throne. In the middle of the room is a lectern with a book on it, which we can assume is the Book of Rituals, but guarding it are two ghouls. Now these are uber ghouls. These ghouls look quite tough. They're swathed in bandages, and Donard's first thought is these are mummies. He does know about undead and that mummies have diseases. This is part of cleric school. We need to roll for initiative because these two creatures attack immediately. And they get initiative. Right, one is going to go for Carrick and one is going to go for Donard. They each get 3 attacks. They have a THAC0 of 15, which means to hit Carrick or Donard, they need to roll a 16. And if they hit with any of them, there's a chance for paralysis. This is Carrick. They hit Carrick for 3 points. He's down to 29. And they missed that. Carrick has to make a saving throw versus paralysis. We'll do that later. And do they hit Donard? They both miss. And that one just misses. Right, Carrick needs to make saving throw versus paralysis, which is an 8 or more. And he throws a 20. Right, easy. Actually, does Bless work against saving throws? Let me check. No, it doesn't. And also, I have forgotten Donard's Warhammer does +2 against the undead, so he should have damaged a lot more. So Carrick makes his saving throw. He does get hit by one of the ghouls. Right, this place is too tight for missile weapons. Okay, if they're going to shoot, they're going to have that fumble penalty of hitting somebody on the back of the head. Liz is going to put away her bow and take out her sword. Sylvia is going to cast magic missile. She does 2 damage. Right, one of these zombies, the one on Carrick, is down to 24. Malin is going to cast a magic missile and he does 5 damage. The one on Donard is down to 22. Right, it's the boys' go. Let's do Carrick. The haste and the striking are still on. He hits with both and he does, let's add this up, 6 plus 8 is 14 plus 10 is 24. Right, that ghoul on him is dead. We're gonna do Donard. Who hits both times and he does 5 plus 5 damage. If you want to know where the extra 5 comes from, one is from his strength, 2 is from his skill training, and the other 2 are for the Warhammer. That's a nice easy 10, plus 2 for the Bless, so we can add 12 onto this. 5 plus 12, 17. That ghoul is down to 5. Then we have Stephen. Who misses. Right, round number 2. And we get initiative. This thing is dead. It has 5 hit points left. Donard. Yep, smashes its skull in, and it's dead. So we all gather around this lectern. Liz is going to search the lectern for any traps. Oh, and she gets a 40. I think that's good enough. And she can ascertain that it's trap free. She is going to check the throne for any traps. And she throws a 15, and yes, it's trap free. So we're going to raid the place for all we can get, and then we are going to take this book of rituals and bring it back to Baizata, and we will do all of that in a minute. The party find a book. They also search the throne, and they find a rather nice necklace, and they also find a rather smart ring. Malin is on the lookout for a magical ring because all the wizards that he knows from stories have a big massive ornate ring that gives them unlimited spells. So he's going to take that ring, and at some point he's going to cast his wand of magic detection over it. Now, the book is written in a language only the Hutakans can understand, but it does seem to have lots of esoteric symbols throughout its pages. So this must be the Book of Rituals. So the party are going to make their way out of this tomb and into the outside world. And this is the Vault of the Elders, and of course they're going to comment on the fact that the 2 Hutakans that escorted us here have run away, so it's up to the party to make their own way back. It probably will be the evening by the time we get there, but we're not long from this temple when we hear another of these big booming noises we have heard before, sort of halfway between what seems like an elephant bellow and wail song, and we recognise it as the sound of these Traldar vocals. Perhaps they're passing a message on, or perhaps they're in combat. But nonetheless, we have to weave our way along this path, past various ancient ruins, and pass through this village. And when we get to this ruined village, we notice that lights are being lit. Now, we have been somewhere similar before. It was here, and we recognise what we think is the Traldar who have found themselves outside at night and are waiting for another attack of the undead. So let's set that up as we approach this ruined settlement. Right, as the party approach the village, we do indeed see a horde of Traldar, which includes some warriors and 2 vocals. And we also see, to our horror, that the 2 Hutakan escorts that took us to the vault of the temple and ran away, their bodies are on spikes and most of their clothes have been torn off them. This does not look good, so the party knows something is up. And indeed something is up, because if you know my format for using these Scrabble letters, E stands for enemy. Well, we're going to broach this to find out what's what. Malin is going to stay back, as will Liz and Sylvia. They are in the shadows, so if anybody wants to throw a spear at them, their attacker will get a penalty. However, 3 of the Traldar and a vocal standing behind come up to us, and they start telling us, well, they start shouting at us. They say, we know what you did. You were meant to go to the Hutakan village to kill them, or to at least give them a good warning. Instead, you became their friends. You betrayed us. These 2 came back from some distant temple. They told us everything that's gone on. You have found us a book of rituals. You want to control these undead. You want to send them after us. You want to destroy us. And of course, Carrick says, oh no, that's not the case at all. Yeah. Well, he can't really say, you squat little savages. You killed these 2 people and they were innocent. And the Traldar just laugh and say, innocent? Don't you know how they treated us? And Stephen says, that was years ago. Can't you make peace? And the Traldar just say, no, it's clear that these mutts still want to kill us and they want to raise the undead against us. This ends here. And indeed it does end here. Let's roll for initiative. Before I do, just as a reminder, these are all the spells we have left. To cure light wounds, hold, web, and invisibility, light, phantasmal force. We've got plenty of healing left. Let's roll for initiative. We get initiative, that's good. It's missiles first, and Liz and Sylvia are both going to try and take out this vocal. Let's see if Liz can. She'll get a short range bonus. And indeed, she definitely can't hit, but she only does 3 damage, and it's down to 5. Sylvia's going to try the same. She hits and she does 2 plus 3 points, 2 for her bow skill plus 1 for her bow plus 1, and that's the 5 needed to take out that vocal. Spells round, and Malin will cast invisibility upon himself. Right, so he's out of the fight. Let's do Donard on one of these Traldar. These Traldar, by the way, look very tough. I have toughened them up for this fight. I also have to say, in the fight in the vault, I forgot that Stephen's damage isn't 8, it's 8 plus 2. He has a sword plus 1, and he also has plus 1 strength bonus. So Donard is on this Traldar, and they have quite a low AC of just 6. Which is good enough for him to hit, and he does 5 damage. The one that's on him is down to 10. Let's do Stephen, who hits well and does 8 damage. The one that's on him is down to 7. And let's do Carrick, who's had these stupid people up to here, and their excuses. Right, I think maybe his anger has got the best of him. That was a miss. Okay, it's their go. And I'm going to do missiles. Even though movement is separate from an attack, I will always allow somebody to move 5 feet just to like sidestep. This vocal is going to move forward. That's its go. And we have 9 spear throwers. They have just got 2 spears each. So I will have to do these in multiples. I'm going to do 4 on Donard. That goes quite low. They will need a natural 20 to hit him. And that's 2 misses. That's good. And that's 2 more misses. I'll do 4 on Stephen. 2 more misses. And a hit for a point. It's down to 25. And I'll do 1 on Carrick. That misses. And then we have the melee people. The one on Donard misses. The one on Carrick misses. And the one on Stephen misses. Right, let's do round number 2. And they get initiative. I have to do all that again. So we'll do their missile round first. Those miss Donard. Those also miss Donard. Yeah, they're moving up just a bit. Those miss Stephen. Those miss Stephen. And there's one on Carrick that misses. Their spells round is a vocal shout. And this has enough range to hit the 3 frontliners, and they each have to make a saving throw versus spells. So both Donard and Carrick need a 10. Donard needs 13, but he gets a wisdom bonus plus 3. He fails. Carrick fails, and what's Stephen's saving throw is 14. And he fails, so everybody gets a -2 to their armor class and -2 to hit and damage, only for this round. So that misses Donard. That badly misses Carrick. And that misses Stephen. Our go. We're going to take out this vocal again. Malin is going to move up to here, invisible. In fact, he might actually try and do it by hiding in the ruins. Liz hits and does 7 damage. That vocal is down to 1 HP. Sylvia misses. Donard, who gets a -2 Thaco penalty. And he loses 2 damage. That a miss. Stephen. That is also a miss. Carrick. That's a hit and he does 12 damage. The Traldar that's on him is down to 3 HP. Round number 3. They get initiative. Okay, these spear throwers are going to throw their last spears. I'm going to say that the -2 armor class penalty has rolled over because still in many ways, still within the same 10 seconds. That 10 seconds doesn't end until it's the vocal's turn again. These boys just need an 18 to be hit. And that one hits Donard for 2 points. It's down to 35. Those 2 miss. Stephen. Those 2 miss. Those miss. Actually, that's a fumble. There's a chance they can hit. So they do 3 points of damage to this guy. They could roll 50% or less. That is down to 1 point. And they throw 50%. So the one that's on Stephen is down to 6 HP. 2 more that are on Stephen. Both of those miss. And then there's one on Carrick. That misses. Okay, our go. Liz tried to take out this vocal. No, that was their melee round. Their spells round is, again, to vocalize. Can Donard save? He fails. Carrick succeeds. Stephen fails. So there's a -2 armor class to Donard. That one misses. Fumbles. Carrick is fine. That's a miss anyway. And Stephen, that one misses. It's our go. It's up to Liz to try and take out the vocal again. It's scalded 1 HP. She misses. And Sylvia, she can hit and kill it. So that is the other vocal gone. Good. Movement round. Malin is going to sneak to here. He's still invisible. Spells. Are we just going to do melee? We're going to do melee. Donard. That is a 5. That is a miss. Stephen, who hits and does 1 damage. The one that is on him is down to 5. Carrick hits and utterly takes out his vengeance. I've got sensitive ears. Don't try to deafen me. And he wipes the floor. That was a bit of an overkill. The one on him only had 3 points left. Okay, so it's round number 4. They get initiative again. Now these guys are going to move up. Right, that will be their go. There's only 2 of them that have melee combat, and that is the one that's on Donard and the one that is on Stephen. And the vocal blast is still applying. The one on Donard misses. The one on Stephen misses. So it's our go. Let's see if Liz and Sylvia can take out the ones on the edges. And Liz can indeed hit, and she does 5 points off 1. It's down to 10. Sylvia misses. It's our spells round, and Donard is going to cast Hold Person. 4 of them need to make a saving throw versus spells, which is at 16. And he's going to choose the 4 closest to him to fail. 1 succeeds. So these 3 are held. I'm going to have our invisible Malin move here. And it's melee round. Donard has gone. Carrick hits very well and does 12 damage. Stephen, who has got the one on him, only has 5 HP left. And that is good enough to hit and kill it. Okay, so we're on to round number 5. We get initiative. Good. Liz, missiles. She hits, but only does 3 damage. This one is down to 7. Sylvia is going to try and attack this one at the back, which is about to move forward. She hits and does 7 damage. It's down to 8 HP. Donard, have a whack at the hammer. He does very good hit and damage. He attacks one and does 10 damage. It's down to 5. I'll do Stephen next. He has to choose a new target. That is good enough to hit. His DACO was 15 and that is excellent damage. He does 10 points off one. It's down to 5 HP. Malin is moving up to here. It's their go. So I've got 2 on Donard. The vocal penalties last for only 1 combat round. And both of those miss. We've got 2 on Carrick. Both of those miss. And we've got 3 on Stephen. 2 miss. And the third one misses. So it's round number 5. They get initiative. We'll do all that again. Those miss Donard. That one hits Carrick for 3 points. Those miss Stephen. As does that one. Our go. Right, we're going to do missiles. The one that Liz is shooting only has 7 HP left. Well, she hits and it's down to 3. The one that Sylvia is on only has 8 HP left. And well, she hits and it's down to 2. Then we have spells and Malin is going to cast Web and that is enough to hold. If he casts here, that's enough to hold those ones. So from behind, this mage appears from nowhere, and then all of a sudden this lot are covered in sticky mass of strands of web. These 3 are held. It's up to Donard and Carrick. Donard can hit, and he does enough to kill. Carrick, the one that's on him only has 3 HP left. And yes, it has no HP left. And this Stephen is on this one. Liz has peppered this Traldor down to 3 HP. That is a miss. Okay. Round number 6. There's 1 Traldor left. It gets initiative. That's 5 initiatives they've had in a row. I'm going to do a morale check for it. And its morale fails. Right, this Traldor gives up. And we have got 3 held Traldor, 4 in a web, and this one that has just surrendered. And the party have to think, what on earth are they going to do next? We're going to think about that next time. Okay? So I'm going to leave this situation here, and I will see you all next time.